Impatiens are, but much bigger blooms, much sturdier. All the features we love about sun patiens, except these are for the shade.
Exactly, they're huge flowers. The plant will be covered with flowers for up to 5 months.
Wow.
2 foot tall, 2 foot wide, non-stop bloomers.
Gorgeous. So
and look at the Hummer. That's my backyard.
Oh, really? Did you shoot that little guy with your camera?
I didn't even know that they would go to the Impatiens, but they sure did.
Well, listen, it's $35 for 6 pieces. So we're talking about what, like $6 or so per plant, and they get huge.
Yeah.
These are annuals, everybody. So these give their whole pow in the first season. So these are something that you're going to get this size this year.
Yeah, and they'll get bigger because these aren't even done yet.
These look like they're maybe about half the size that they're
this is probably, you know, August, but they're gonna keep growing all the way till the frost.
So for those of you asking for color for shady areas, these are an absolute must-have. So we're getting 3 colors.
Yes, you're getting
2 of each.
You're gonna get, look at this. This is the lilac pink.
Okay.
Look.
Beautiful.
I mean, oh my goodness. And
so
look, they're all.
You guys, it went from. Now
look at these flowers,
huh? I'm gonna pop one of these little guys out of here.
And here's the red.
It goes from this. When you get it, all you gotta dig is a hole that big, a little bitty hole, or put it in the middle of a big pot. Put it in a big pot.
They like
it's gonna get that big, but it goes from that to that about halfway through. Then it gets even bigger.
And then how about maybe a walkway by the garage where, you know, you want some color next to that garage.
Yep.
Look at the red one. I mean, I love these colors.
And then you're also getting this pink one, right?
Yeah, you get 2 pinks. You get the lilac pink and the lavender pink. Here's the lavender pink.
So that's more of like a fuchsia pink right there. So lavender, like a light purple, a bright fuchsia pink, and a red, and you get 2 of each one for a total of 6.
Tough plants.
So you guys, full to partial shade. If you've got some dappled sun, that's okay. Just don't put these in a hot, sunny area because they are a shade plant.
It's a shade plant. You know, what do you put in the shade? Hostas. I mean, it's kind of boring, right?
Yeah, I know. We only offer, I don't even want to say a handful, because probably not even that many, of shade plants, and then just a couple of those actually have flowers. So this is really hard to find. You can get Impatiens, the little wilty kind.
It's about a 10-foot, 12-foot border.
They don't get this big. They don't have blooms this big.
Look at that.
These are sturdy, big blooms on here,
They are. They're massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pick off a couple.
And they also don't get those wilty stems that like get all melty and tip over. You know how a lot of those Impatiens are.
Yeah, and these, you don't prune. They have this habit, this natural habit.
Yeah.
Semicircles. 2 foot tall, 2 foot wide.
Yeah.
And they just produce and produce.
I'm getting a couple of sets of these because I have that shade garden right above my driveway where it's so shady, sometimes shade grass seed won't even grow there.
Yeah,
but
these will do fine.
Yeah,
they can take some sun, but mostly shade. Now look at the size of these. I'm going to pick one off for you. Okay, look how big that is.
I know.
Is that ginormous?
It's like a boutonniere. Look how big that is.
Let me pick one of these off. There's the other color.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's a little bit brighter, like you said, a little fuchsia.
So here's the 2, the lavender and the pink together. Let me grab the red one.
And there's your red. You're getting 2 of each color.
Okay, you guys, you get all 3 of these colors.
They're massive. They're
Look
huge.
how pretty they are. And you get 6 giant plants that are going to get to their full size this season, because these are an annual. So go ahead and grab these. Get your now. Roberta's also offers sun patiens.
Yep.
So keep an eyeball out for
sun
those.
or shade. We're taking care of it. This is the only collection of Impatiens that we are doing.
Those are pretty.
We only have 20 acres, and everybody says, "Well, how come you don't have this? How come you don't have?" Look, we brought a small amount of Impatiens for the year, and that's it. One collection. Don't miss out on these.
And my producer just got in my ear and said, yes, that's right. There aren't a lot of these to go around.
Right.
Let everybody know. So if you want these, there's no more coming back in this season. These are not even as big as they're going to get. These are as big as we could get them for the show today. But when you plant these, they're going to arrive when it's time to plant.
Yes, we know where you live.
And they grow, well, listen, these grow really fast. If you're somebody who is impatient for your flowers to grow, this is for you. Impatiens are for you because you get flowers fast. They get their full size this year. You don't have to wait till next year or the 3rd season or whatever. They give you a big pow this summer. And notice how he's shaking those around. And
they're tough.
The flowers aren't falling off.
No, they're tough.
So they're not like your typical kind of fragile impatient plant that you find at
and
the
they
local
call
garden
them
shop.
the big bounce because they are supersized flowers.
Yeah.
The plant's 2 foot by 2 foot, and then the bounce part is honestly because if you forget to water
they bounce
impatiens,
back.
they come right back.
As soon as you give them a little water,
they come right back.
And when these get rained on and stuff, you don't get like a big flat spot in the middle.
No, that's not downy mildew
on the ground.
Your plant is. It's like what happened, mystery disease, and it's gone. These are mildew resistant, so you won't have that.
No mystery illnesses. So look how big you get. All of these.
This is one
guys.
set,
and this is only about half as big as they're going to get.
Get a couple sets, you won't have any regrets.
Put them wherever it's shady. If it's shady along your walkway, do that. If
under trees.
Put them under those trees where, actually, and let me tell you this too, if you've got some big old trees where you can't dig around between the roots, if you can get these into the ground there, they'll grow. But you can also put, what I do, is put the pots under your big shady trees. Put these in pots under the tree, because wherever it's shady, they go in the ground or in a pot, either one.
I loved it with the geraniums hanging above it. So you're creating your own shady spot with your other plants.
I like that.
And around here with their other bushes. Fill them in, because all it's going to do is give you color for 5 months.
And if you want to have one of those houses that you see in the magazines, or maybe it's that one person in your neighborhood that always has all the flowers, and everybody's like, ooh, their yard looks so pretty. How did they get all those flowers? Well, they probably did something like this, where their flowers grow full size in one season, and you can get that same effect too. If you've got some sparse areas going on around now, as long as it's shady, these will work really, really well. And again, if you don't want to put them in the ground, put them in a pot.
They do great, as you can see, they do great in a container. Don't put them in the full sun. Stick them out where they get half a day sun is about as most. Yeah, the most. But this is a place to brighten up those dull areas. It's going to make that shady spot where it's kind of like ho-ho-hum, the all-star area, where you can sit in the shade and have this color.
These are popular. About 1,000 of these are gone. You guys are the first ones to see these. Remember, these are impatiens for the shade. They get as big as those sun patiens you love. If you want sun patiens, you can go on QVC.com. Roberta's has those too. All right, so that's going to wrap up our Roberta's show. Come on in here, Court. Tell us again, fellas, how do we know when our plants are getting there?
Right, because we know where you live. Like I said, we got your zip code. So what you got to do is just look where you live, match it to the color on the bottom, and that's the ship week you can expect to